Welcome to episode 2 of the Cell Block. It's just me today. There's no all preds, and we're sort of going to be talking about, well, obviously we're going to be talking about all things to do with the Predators and such but I, after a bit. But I do want to just give a little bit of an update on why there hasn't been like any episodes in 9 months, and well, obviously the episode is titled "It's Been a Long, Long Time." So I had been going through a lot of personal issues, and uh, at the end of December and it was just a lot of personal issues, and it bled into January, and it just kept going, and with all that going on personally and such, it was very hard to record anything. Like I I had been dealing with a lot of burnout in general, like just really not wanting to record anything. Uh, but I would record, but I couldn't just bring myself to record a cell block video. I had tried to record a few, but I felt like nothing was good enough. Nothing was able was nothing was worthy of the video, and when I had recorded one and uploaded it, I didn't like it. Uh, so it was just a lot of things contributing to the fact that I wasn't making any videos on the cell block. And when it's just like my projects, I put them all aside, but when it came to like the overall podcast thing, I would still do them. But a lot of things have been happening, but now I'm sort of in a better mental state to where I can uh record one, and hopefully I'll make it more frequent to do this. I don't want to just do one every 9 months. I want to be more consistent, with cell block videos and such. But onto the actual important matters of the whole of this show. Uh, the Predators had a very interesting season, in my opinion. Uh, you know they started off they started off pretty they started off pretty okay, I would say. They had a few rough patches. There was a bit in there. I mean, I'd say for the most part the Predators were fine. They did have, like, obviously they had Forsberg, Yossi, all the usual suspects. Duchesne and Ryan Johansson had very good, like, bounce back years. Forsberg was phenomenal. Saros was doing great, and it just looked solid. I mean, the biggest issue that the Predators had been going through the entire season, in my opinion, was just kind of things not going as well as they should have at some points. Like, there was Tolvanen going through that massive slump, and you know we had some injury problems as always, but yeah, for the most part it was great. I mean, Saros Vezina finalist, Yossi Norris finalist, all that. So a big issue during the season for the Predators was getting Forsberg extended. No one knew how much it was he was going to be extended to, and everything got more dire and dire as time progressed because, well, Forsberg would just keep getting better and better and putting up more and more points, and you would literally it was literally like his price is just going to keep increasing, and it got worrisome for a lot of Predators fans. Um, Towards the end of the season, we were looking good in a playoff spot, and it was a thing where it was like you need to finish at Central Three, and but sadly Yossi got, or not Yossi, Saros got hurt, and it all started to fall apart once Saros got hurt. I mean, you had once Saros got hurt, it was just Ingram and Riddick, and Riddick wasn't doing well, and Ingram was doing the best he could, which I thought he did very well, especially in the playoffs. Uh, we got swept in the playoffs, but I do feel it was closer than it seemed, because if you take away Riddick's horrible, horrible, horrible start to the first game, you know, that game would have been tied at the end of it if you just did Ingram's game and then and Ingram did very solid. I think he should be the backup. I don't know why the Predators signed Kevin Lankinen, but that'll be in a second. So after the playoffs, things got a bit more worrisome, but then we kind of got the draft. The draft is where some things happened. The Predators were picking 17th, which was, in my opinion, it was pretty good. I like picking in the middle because it's always fun to see who will drop and who won't. But never in my life did I think we'd get, Joachim Kamel where we did. That seemed pretty, very, no, not even pretty, extremely unlikely for a player of his talent to drop to where he did. It. So we had Joachim Kamel in the first round, and then in the third round, we selected Adam Ingram and Kasper Kulanumi. Sorry, I always butcher names. Fourth round, Cole O'Hara. Fifth round, Graham Sword. And seventh round, Ben Stryden. So it was a pretty good draft, in my opinion. But then we got to sort of the waning days of free agency, and the period where the draft is over and free agency is about to start, and it's that nervousness of who's going to get signed, who's not going to get signed, what's going to happen. And the big thing is a lot of people felt that Poile was just going to let Forsberg walk, and it was going to be another Ryan Suter situation. But Forsberg re-signed for 8 years at $8.5 million AAV, which, in my opinion, is an extremely fair contract. He's one of the best. He's one of the best players on the team when he's healthy. I would say he's the best forward on the team, and clearly. And so it's good that we got him to what we got him to, and it's just a player that belongs where it is. And before Forsberg had gotten re-signed, the Predators made a trade for Ryan McDonagh. Ryan McDonagh, an extremely good defender. He was traded, and we gave up Phil Myers and Grant Mishmash. And it was a pretty good deal for that, and it had turned out that that's what caused Forsberg to resign, because Forsberg wanted the team to be heading in the right direction, and that is what so it was like a butterfly effect, essentially. Next into the Predators did a lot of bolstering of their AHL team, which is good. I don't know why people always get mad when it's just like, oh, they're signing AHL guys. It's like, dude, it is extremely important to have a great AHL team. You don't do that well if you neglect your prospects and your developmental part of the thing. But then we signed, I don't understand why we signed Kevin Lankinen. He's not that good. You have Ingram. Ingram proved himself more than once this year, I would say. And a lot of people had said, well, wouldn't it be for the AHL? You don't pay someone in the AHL $1.5 million. So I don't understand where we got Lankinen. The only thing I can think of is he'll be a third string goalie in case Saros does get hurt. But still, that doesn't make sense, because you could just call up somebody or just sign somebody to a less amount of money. but it's only a 1 year deal, so that's fine. Um, we got we traded away Luke Cunnin for John Leonard, and that was an interesting trade because Luke Cunnin hadn't been doing good. In my opinion, I thought he was just extremely snake bitten, but I do understand the trading away of him. It did free up cap space, which was good because he did get signed to a bigger contract than John Leonard. And then the big one, Nino Niederreiter signed with the Predators, which is very good. The Predators do need top six forwards, and they got one. They got a very good one too. Uh, I think the season could be very good for the Predators. It all depends on how healthy they can be. You know, if people return to form and such. You know, they got Trennan after the arbitration back. You know, there are people for next year that need to be re-signed, but we'll worry about that when it gets closer to next year. So yeah, this season could be very well for the Predators. You know, a lot of good prospects in Milwaukee this year that I am excited to watch, and yeah, I think that's gonna wrap this one up for now. I'll hopefully make more of these this year. You know, um, yeah. So if you liked the video, leave a like. If you didn't like it, leave a dislike. S- Subscribe if you aren't subscribed already, and have a great day. And if there are any suggestions for future uh, cell block episodes or just anything about the podcast in general, uh, feel free to leave it in the comments, and I will see you guys next time.